Welcome to the Totally Honest Cooking Show. I'm Mark. Today we're doing chocolate chip cookies. Let's go! The chocolate chip cookie was invented by Ruth Wakefield in 1938 at the Toll House Inn in Massachusetts. She cut up a chocolate bar and made some cookies, and eventually it led to her making a deal with Nestle where they put a recipe on the packaging for the candy bar, and then it led to the creation of chocolate chips by the company. I always find that kind of fascinating because it's like, how did they take so long to put the chocolate in the cookies? But if you think about it, chocolate is a very globalized food, right? So we needed refrigeration, we needed the ability to mass transport, we needed all these things to come together to eat the cookie. Anyway, let's make the cookie. This is 3 cups of all-purpose flour, half a teaspoon baking powder, 1 teaspoon baking soda, 1 teaspoon kosher salt. The recipe I'm using calls for sea salt. You might be able to get away with an extra half to a fourth teaspoon of kosher salt to make up for the sea salt. I'm going to leave it be at 1. You do you. Drop them in the bowl. Whisk them together. Okay, I think everybody's whisked together. Well, step 1 is your normal cookie strategy where you cream sugar and butter. This is 1 cup of white sugar. This is 1 cup packed dark brown sugar. Recipe calls for light. I'm a rebel. Dark brown sugar is just more molasses. I probably won't notice it. My palate for that sort of thing is not good. And packing it means just that you shoved it in there until you couldn't shove no more in there. And it should come out in the shape of whatever measuring cup you use. That's how you know you packed. And then 1 cup of butter softened. That's 2 sticks. Not a pro tip. If you feel like your butter isn't soft enough, just let it sit in the room while the oven preheats. It'll be okay. Now we're going to cream them together. That just means that we are mixing them together. You mixed those until they were combined. Now you're mixing in 2 eggs and 2 tablespoons of vanilla. We're going to do that one at a time for each. 1 egg, ah ha ha. 1 teaspoon vanilla. 2 egg, ah ha ha. 2nd teaspoon of vanilla. Recipe doesn't say this, but I like to scrape her down in between. Sometimes the bottom doesn't get got. And now we mix in our dry ingredients. Now we're going to add our 2 cups of chocolate chips. That's 12 ounces. These are semi-sweet. That's the kind of standard. And you want to get a good quality chocolate chip. Okay, so this is too thick to do this way. You're just going to need to elbow grease. Full disclosure, you might be able to use the beater for the whole thing. However, I've only broken 1 mixer in my life, and it was baking cookies that were very thick with 2 C's. Now we're supposed to roll 2 to 3 tablespoons into balls. I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Now, usually I make them too big. So I'm going for about golf ball sized. Kind of like that. And I'm going to get half as many cookies as the recipe tells me, because that's just how I do it. The challenge will be, as they cook, they're going to grow together, and you're going to have to cut them apart when they finish baking. Also, you are going to want to put down either parchment paper or grease the baking sheet. You are supposed to space these apart enough that they don't grow together. I've never had good luck with that, but that's because, again, I make the cookies too big. Then we're putting them in a 375-degree oven for 8 to 10 minutes. The recipe says to take them out when they look like they're barely starting to turn brown. Okay, they're just barely starting to turn brown, so I took them out. Sometimes you just have to trust the recipe. And in 5 minutes, I will move them onto these wire racks. As soon as I see them safe to move, I'm moving them onto the rack. What happened when I moved it onto... That is why you don't do that. Look at what my incompetence has wrought. Poor guy. Still warm. Tastes good. I'm going to call this a win, but we're going to let them cool and see how they are later. Hey, it's been a few hours. They've cooled. Let's give them a try. Yep, that's a chocolate chip cookie. It's delicious. I like that they've got a little bit of lift. Some of them got some little crannies where the chocolate chips were. I recommend this recipe. For those of you that like a close-up, that's what they look like. Okay, that's what I have for you this week. Like, subscribe, ding the little bell. Let me know your favorite cookie in the comments below. And I'll see you next Wednesday. Bye.